Hey everybody, what's going on? So today in this video we're going to talk about how to fish the buzzing toad. So it really just depends on the brand, I guess you could say, that you prefer. I prefer my own brand. This here's Doc's Lure Company Bullfrog. You can use whatever brand you choose. This one here is just my personal favorite because I've actually caught some fish on these and I haven't caught anything on the others. So why not go ahead and make an in-depth episode today. I asked you guys the other day in one of my videos, I said, should I bring back the in-depth episodes? And a lot of people said yes, I should. So here we are. And we're going to talk about how I like to fish these, how I personally have caught some with this. And we're going to talk about stuff like that. So, personally, the colors I choose are one of three. It's either green pumpkin, which is here's green pumpkin magic, white, or black. Those are the three colors that I choose. It's not really it's more of a fish's preference versus my personal preference. It's personally, I think that these colors are all three good, but I've caught a lot on green pumpkin. I've caught more fish on green pumpkin than any of the other colors. Something I've also done is flipped these weightless. I've done some good with that, doing that. But it is mainly considered as a topwater bait, and they've caught a lot of fish. I've seen some big fish caught on buzzing frogs. You guys can probably hear that sound, that gurgling sound that the feet make as it goes through the water. Now, what I personally like about this frog here is it has two different sounds to it. You can rig it two different ways, and it has two different sounds. If you rig it with the flat side up, which basically means the hooks or the hook point is on the flat side, it has a lot louder, more of a fast action gurgling sound that a lot of companies like. Now, if you flip it the other way, where the hook is on the round side and the flat part is basically going on the water, it is a very good finesse topwater bait. It actually has a very finesse, kind of a slow, more of a methodical sound to it. And that's the one that I've caught the most fish on, is the opposite side. But with these clouds, I opted to go with more of a louder sound. I think that when clouds are out, I like fishing louder baits. You know, if I can, I'll go with, the louder version of this bait. Or I'll go with a whopper plopper or something like that. Something that has a lot of noise. Something that catches a lot of fish's attention. Something that, says, hey, here's an easy meal. Come and eat the bait, So what I personally like doing with these is I like to either, if I can't parallel the bank very well, I like to cast to the other bank and just slow roll it along until a fish eats it, or I get closer to the bank that I'm standing on. Personally, the way that I rig it is just weightless, obviously, with a 6/0. This is an owner weightless swim bait hook is what this is. I don't really go with the double hooks because double hooks tear up the bait a lot more. And that's just from experience using like the Zoom horny toad. I've had a lot of baits get torn up because of the double hook. So I just go with a single hook design as I get a pretty bad backlash. And we finally got it out after about 20 minutes of messing with it. Okay, so try to get back to what I was saying because I forgot. Oh, yeah, about the double hooks. I personally like with a single hook because if they're going to get the bait, they're going to get the bait good. You know, if they really want to eat the bait, they're going to eat it. They're not going to mess around with it. That's why I personally go with a single hook. That, and it makes the baits last longer. I used to have one double hook. I don't remember where I got it from, but I had one double hook, and it was made specifically for these baits, for these buzzing frogs. And I had some Zoom horny toad frogs, and that's what I would use. I would cast those out, and I would try to catch fish, and I would always tear up the baits with those double hooks because they weren't, you know, they were way too big. They were just bulky. They would make the bait sink fast, and I just didn't care for them. That's why I go with single hooks. Oops. Oh no. Oh no. I hope I can get this back. It's like 20 feet up in a tree. Oh, I got it back. Huh. That's honestly very surprising. I can't believe I actually got that back. Okay. Back to fishing. So in cloudy conditions, I will personally go with black or green pumpkin. It also kind of matters, you know, what the fish eat. You know, if they eat a lot of just normal frogs or bluegill, I'll go with green pumpkin. If they eat just a lot of just about everything, if they eat shad, bluegill, frogs, just about everything, I'll go with black. Just because the black and the white is just confident. Oh. Okay, I don't think this one is as bad as the other one was, so I don't need to pause it. But like I was saying, I like the black and white because it can mimic multiple different things. You know, the green pumpkin can also mimic, you know, bluegill and frogs, but the white can mimic shad, bluegill. It can also mimic frogs. It can mimic a lot of different things. Tighten this up a little bit and see if it'll help. It helped a little bit. But personally, when it's cloudy out, I go with black or green pumpkin. But if I am fishing where there's a lot of shad, let's say there's a shad spawn going on, here in Illinois, that shouldn't be still going. That should be over by now. I really haven't been able to fish a whole lot when the shad spawn was actually going. I wasn't able to fish a whole lot. So I don't really know, honestly, if the shad spawn has happened or not. I haven't really been able to tell a lot about if the shad has happened or not. But if you're in an area where the shad spawn is still going, or if it's coming up, I normally fish a white buzzing frog around shad. And that's not to say that the black ones and the green pumpkin ones won't catch fish, because I've seen people catch fish on black frogs, even though that the shad were spawning, and they were actually spawning pretty heavily. Sometimes different colors overpower the actual bait fish look and profile. But like I was saying, when it's cloudy out, I like to have a lot more action, you know, a lot more of a loud, fast action to it. You guys can hear. I hope you guys can hear that sound. It makes a very distinct sound. It almost sounds like something sitting and trying. Almost sounds kind of like a bluegill flopping in just about like a half-inch of water. That's what it kind of sounds like to me. But if you take the bait, like I was saying earlier, unhook it, you spin it around, and you hook it with the belly side up, it gives it more of a light sound, more of a finesse type of sound. Go ahead and undo this here. We'll cast it out. It's a very light sound, a very light profile as well. It's not real loud. And that's what I like about that bait, is because it can do two different sounds at once. It can go from real loud to a more of a light sound. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over because I think that if we do get a bite, it's going to be on the louder profile. But yeah, personally, black, green, and white are the main three colors, just because the dark color, bright color, and just kind of a medium color, you know, a color that doesn't mimic anything in particular, and that being green pumpkin. You know, it can mimic bluegill, frogs, just about anything. Line wrapped around the rod tip down there. There we go. But anyway, if I did have to pick a different color, it would probably be something chartreuse, or something with multiple colors, like a black and white or a black and red. Here at Doc's Lure Company with these baits here, I can do that. You know, I make some that are black and red, black and white and red, kind of like a daredevil color, like a devil horse, or not devil horse, but like a daredevil spoon. White tails with a red head, or the vice versa, you know, black head with a white tail, or whatever. Something else that I do with these baits, considering they are made from different plastic than most companies. Most companies like a lot of salt in their baits. These here have no salt, and what that allows you to do is you can work it a lot slower. You can kind of work it like you would a normal frog, and make it more of a slower profile, more of a fast, but a lot slower. It'll make your cast last a lot longer, and it has more of like a popping sound to it, almost like a popping frog, but it has those 2 feet on the back. So I hope you guys enjoyed this in-depth episode, and if you did, make sure you give it a big like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're already at 815 or 814, something like that, so that's pretty awesome. I just did a giveaway, and we'll be doing another giveaway at 1,000. Once I get there, I'll be doing a pretty good sized giveaway. I'll probably be giving away 4 or 5 different bags of plastics. So if you guys are interested in that, help me out. Share the video. Share the video on Facebook, or to your friends on Instagram or Snapchat or whatever. Get the channel out there. Help me out, and once I get to 1,000, I'll get a bunch of bags of plastic together and do a big giveaway. So, if you did like the video, like it, and tell me down in the comments if you have a bait that you want me to do an in-depth episode on. Tell me, and I will definitely do an in-depth episode on it. I've got a couple baits in mind, but I want your guys' opinion. I don't want to be just doing the videos because I want to do them. I want to do the videos because you guys want to learn about a specific bait. And it doesn't matter what kind of bait it is. The only baits that I don't really fish a lot are spoons and Alabama rigs. So anything other than that, go ahead and tell me, and I'll do them because I want to do them. But, just like I said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already.